is Jess Mazour, and I work for the Sierra Club Iowa chapter, and we are registered opposed to this bill. When we've been listening to this bill over in the Senate and what people are saying about it, I think that there's a lot of things that are being said that are misleading or not quite true. The two big things is, one, we keep hearing that this is better than existing law, and two, we keep hearing that this is not eminent domain. So I want to clear a few things up. First thing, after the committee meetings last week, I emailed the Iowa DNR, just kind of looking for some background on 458A, the existing law for oil, gas, and things like this. And what the DNR said to me was, to my knowledge, the DNR has never used Iowa Code 458A to create a pooling agreement for the extraction of oil, gas, and other minerals. So this isn't a good starting place to consider. It's something that was put in place in the 1960s, and we've never used it. So let's start with that. I also asked the Iowa DNR, so what happens under current law if the landowner says they don't want to participate? And the DNR lawyer, his name's Noah Popple-Reiter, said, particularly because the DNR does not have precedent in this area, I will respectfully decline to provide an in-depth answer to your hypothetical regarding non-participating landowners. Instead, I will simply state that the DNR will comply with the rule of law when implementing Chapter 458A. Not something we can speculate on. We'll handle each case on its own merits if and when it arises. So there's not even clarity or precedent on how this law has been used. So when we're drafting a law of this magnitude, we should be drafting good legislation, not rushing something through because somebody wants it. The level of opposition to this legislation is overwhelming. There is no reason to pass a bad bill just because somebody wants this quickly. So, right now in existing law, when they say that this is better than existing law, the existing law has no penalizing of non-consenting landowners. So how is penalizing better than this? In this current law or current bill that you're considering, no one's asking for it. I've never heard anyone say, dear legislator, please create a forced pooling plan. But who's saying that? Hydrogen. The opposition to this bill grows as more people find out about it. Most of Iowans don't know what forced pooling is, which is the reason we should be having discussions with the public, not rushing this through. A 25% threshold is pathetic. That's pathetic. That's not even half. And in the law, it's of the land area. It's not 25% of landowners. It's not 25% of parcels. It's of the land area. That creates an unfair advantage to people who own large amounts of land. It does not preserve the ability to say no. So yes, this may not be eminent domain as they're saying in the Senate, but it is a taking. Right now, Iowans own what's below their feet to the center of the earth. And this bill says that someone will be forced to participate to give up their mineral rights. You can call it what you want, but that is a taking. And Iowans have been asking for 5 years for you to protect our property rights, not dismantle them. This feels like a betrayal. You have people all over saying, no, why are you rushing this? And yet you are rushing to dismantle the property rights of Iowans who are currently fighting to protect their property rights. What is the rush? The confidentiality in this bill only hurts the public. Why are we keeping this stuff secret? The fact that the DNR has ultimate discretion over this entire program when they're appointed and not elected means that no one will have a fair shot. The money that's collected in the severance tax is going to the wrong place. It should be going to the general fund. These are just a few of the legitimate problems with this bill, yet it is being rushed through. It's time to slow down. Don't betray the Iowa landowners who have been fighting tooth and nail to protect their property rights. Now they're adding on this extra thing because you want to take away their mineral rights. This is wrong, and you need to vote no. Then hydrogen is going to be there in 2 years and 5 years if you want to do it later. But spend time writing good bills, not a bad bill. And lastly, I'm no expert in hydrogen creation or anything, but I'm pretty sure that there are easier, cheaper, and more efficient ways to make hydrogen than pumping a bunch of water down into the ground to release hydrogen from basalt formations. So that's how I understand it's going to be doing it. It's water intensive. So thank you very much. Please vote no on the bill.
Brittany Lumley here on behalf of Koloma. We are a hydrogen exploration company that has been working in the state for roughly 4 years now. Representative Wolf, I want to thank you for taking the last 2 years to look into this issue. I know Representative Makers, we met as well. This has been a very time-intensive process as we've gone through the process, but we are registered in favor of this legislation. We can get into the nitty-gritty and I can explain the process if you would like, but since we're in the Ways and Means sub, I will address the severance tax piece. We knew coming into the state that we would have to pay some type of a tax, understanding that this was put in place because other states have about the same average. We're comfortable with that. As for the rest of the bill, we talked about it in depth, in fact, in the subcommittee in this very room earlier this year, where we spoke for quite a long time as to how pooling works and how everything works on that. So from our perspective, we think that this bill gives landowners a lot more certainty, protects landowners, ensures that they're paid appropriately for their minerals that should they be used. Additionally, it gives producers some certainty as to know how much they need to pay when they come into the state and who the regulators are and things like that. And it gives the state clarity as to governing and overseeing this entire process. So I appreciate the thoughtfulness and the extensive amount of time you've all put into this, and I would be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
I'm Marjorie Swan, farm landowner in Wright County. Forest pooling is comparable to eminent domain of our mineral rights. If the SF 2490 bill passes, a company who wants rights to what's under your ground can create a pool, and even if landlords in the pool area voluntarily sign away the rights, everyone else is forced into the pool. Those who do not sign voluntary are punished with worse terms than those who sign voluntary. Vote no on SF 2490. Thank you for allowing public comment.
Thank you. Morning. Farm Bureau members have been discussing and researching this issue for the last 2 years. We appreciate the work that the legislature has put in up to this point. Hydrogen exploration and extraction is an exciting opportunity for our farmers and landowners to take advantage of the resources under their land. We appreciate the legislature taking into account Farm Bureau members' policy when working through this legislation. Appreciate you bringing it forward.
Good morning, Cynthia Hanson, land. Good morning, Cynthia Hanson, landowner in Shelby County. SF 2490 is a bill that Senator Sweeney would call forced prosperity. And I can tell you that I should have a choice on what happens on my land, not forced to participate in pooling based on a 25% threshold. Forcing unwilling landowners to participate and pay a huge penalty sounds like the schoolyard bully who wants you to willingly give him your school lunch money or he'll give you a beating. Why are you willing to continue the trend of eroding property rights and weakening the U.S. and Iowa Constitution? Vote no on this bill.
Anyone else for Senate File 2490?
I think the DNR and the geological survey are here.
Discuss.
Good morning, I'm Sue Torrenchetti. I'm a landowner from Greene County, and I also represent Lobbyist Cooperative. Lobbyist Cooperative is a $2 billion plus Iowa farmer-owned cooperative. We have 60 locations in Iowa, over 5,000 farmer members, 600 employees. In January, we did a survey of our members on private property rights. And over 70% of our farmers said protect our private property rights. So as I look at this bill, I too am, as a landowner, excited about the idea of hydrogen and the value it can bring to me, but I want to see a bill that is done very well. I think hydrogen can be a wonderful business for Iowa when thoughtfully put together. And I just think this bill needs some more time. Very concerned about the 25% threshold for forced pooling. and how that does affect, one, my property rights, and also the ability to negotiate how my land is used and the amount of income I can get off of that when you have such a tight pooling arrangement. So the other thing is, I think the 5-year Secrecy Act is concerning to me, and along with that, as far as one person having DNR oversight. So I would say, one, yes, consider putting this off for a year and doing a little more looking at how this can be improved. And I urge you to vote no. Thank you.
Thank you. Others who wish to speak? Okay, we're running short on time because this is only a 15-minute.
No, that's all right, you're short of time.
No, go ahead. If you, 1 minute, can you get it done? I'll make sure everybody has a chance to speak.
Okay, do I have to touch something?
The right side.
One that looks like a little person.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, I'm Darlene Carlo from Guthrie County. My main concern is that when we listened to the Senate and the subcommittee, they were more concerned about where the tax money was gonna go over the landowners' property rights. And this is a slap in the face after the Senate stalling on eminent domain, and then they're forcing this through. It needs to have time. The 25% threshold is way too low. I mean, majority should be at least 51%. When other hydrogen companies testified at the Senate committee, they were opposed. They think that this benefits just one company, and the people behind this one company are not good people. The operational 100%, collecting their 100% fees and their 200% drilling costs before they pay a landowner who's not consenting to have a well on their land is just wrong. It's taking of their mineral rights underneath the land. And so I would urge you to oppose this and do more research on this. Again, hydrogen is becoming the new oil, we understand that, but we have to protect our rights. Thank you.
Thank you. Representatives, your comments? Okay, I would say that this bill has been worked on for a couple of years now. I'm not saying that it doesn't need more work, so I definitely appreciate the comments and you guys coming in and speaking. We are going to move forward today so we can get to committee and continue to have discussion.